guys, what's happening? What's happening? Larry Alabama from the Gym Rat Pack here again with another video, and this video is about, it's a review of the fight this weekend between Joe Joyce and Zhilei Zhang, or otherwise known as Big Bang Zhang. So obviously Joe Joyce lost the fight via a 3-round knockout. I actually picked him to win because the reason why I picked him to win was because he came in very light the first fight, and I kind of feel like Zhang took advantage of that by bullying him, coming forward, pushing him back, and landing those shots. So I figured that if he came in heavier, he'd be able to push Zhang back and get his shots off. But it didn't turn out that way. Although I will say he fought the wrong tactic, because from what I saw of Joyce in this fight, he had his lead hand low, which is not the thing to do, because you're just inviting guys to throw punches at you. And if you're not a counter puncher, which Joe Joyce is not, and you can punch hard like Zhang can, there's only going to be one result, and you saw what happened. He didn't push Zhang back at all. He was flicking out that jab, wasn't hitting anything with the jab, so he wasn't giving Zhang anything to think about if he came forward. And this is what you need to do with big punches like Zhang. You need to give them something to make them think, well, if I come forward, I'm going to get smacked, really hard by this jab or whatever. And he was supposed to be circling to his left, which he was doing in the first round, but not effectively. And then he kind of forgot about that in the second and third round. I felt if Joyce could have put up a better performance, he would have had a better chance of winning that fight. I still think he could have won that fight, but obviously it went the way it went, because Zhang was confident. You could see he was confident from the get-go, obviously because of the first fight. But yeah, he was well confident. He knew what he had to do. He knew he needed to just go in there and lay the shots on him. And and that's exactly what happened. What was it? The right hook that ended the fight. Was it right hook or left hook? That Zhang, I can't remember, but the hook that he hit Joyce with, that would have stopped anyone. That would have absolutely mullered anyone, any heavyweight. So hats off to Zhang. He's a lot better than what people think. He's a lot better than what I thought, because I never really saw him fight. I heard about him, but I never really watched him fight. In fact, his first fight with Joyce was the first fight I actually saw of him. I heard about the Hrgovic fight, which although he lost, most people thought that he should have won. It's when you're fighting a southpaw who you're an orthodox, you're fighting a southpaw who can punch. It's hard work, man. It's hard work. And I think Zhang, and a lot of people are saying this, has now shown himself to be a top heavyweight. He's definitely a top 5 heavyweight in my book. After watching those 2 performances, he's definitely a top 5 heavyweight. And he's now calling out Fury. He's calling out Usyk. I would like to see him fight Wilder, actually. I'd actually like to see him fight Wilder. Obviously, if Wilder touches him, the fight's over. But I think just as well, if Zhang touches Wilder, that fight is over. That would be a very interesting fight. In fact, that fight would be more interesting to me than a Joshua Wilder fight. So, let's see what happens. You never know. You never know. It really... that's all I had to really say about the fight, to be honest with you. Joe got on his toes in the first round of the fight, which I didn't think was necessary. I think Joe needs more head movement with his hands up. I think that would have helped him more, to slip the shots, come back, obviously move to his left, and push Zhang back. But it is what it is. I think, by no means do I think Joe Joyce is finished. He's still a top heavyweight in my book. This is what annoys me about boxing in general. You lose a couple of fights and people are ready to throw you on a scrap heap. It really annoyed me what Carl Froch was saying about him being finished. I mean, Carl Froch is such an annoying prick, honestly. I've never taken to Carl Froch. I've never, ever taken to Carl. Even when he was boxing, he's always had that attitude, that entitlement attitude, very similar to Conor Benn, actually. You know, yeah, it just really annoys me, and I sense bitterness from him now because he's not in the game no more, and obviously he's not earned as much as some of these other guys have earned. They don't even have world titles. I sense bitterness in him, you know. And he was shouting for Joe Joyce to retire. Joe Joyce hasn't really taken a beating in his career. You know, he's got stopped twice by the same guy who's a top 5 heavyweight. Does that mean he should retire? Of course not. This is one of the reasons why people are looking more to UFC in the last few years, because the UFC, as long as you can have great fights, entertaining fights, they don't care how many fights you've lost. Do you know what I mean? It's a sport. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. You know, it's as long as you're not losing in a really awful manner, which, to be honest, Joe Joyce didn't. Again, I reiterate, this guy is a top 5 heavyweight. There's no shame in losing to Zhang. You know what I mean? A lot of guys would lose to Zhang. I mean, you know, even if you put Joshua in there, I've got a good feeling Zhang would beat him. No, I don't even. Yes, and people have shown me when he knocked out Zhang in the amateurs. Amateurs and pro, completely different things. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't put it past him to beat Joshua at this point. But yeah, I really didn't like Frank Warren, what he was saying as well about Joe Joyce. Like, throwing, you know, it sounds like they just want to throw him on a scrap heap now. Obviously, Damien Ashley, you know, who's part of this channel, is a really good friend of Joe Joyce's. And I think he had a word with him after the fight and whatnot. And, you know, he's in good spirits. He even had an interview after the fight. And I respect him a lot, you know, because he only had good things to say about his opponent. He was very, you know, reflective about his own performance. And he wants to come again. And I think yes, 100%, he can. 100%. You know, I would like to see him fight Dubois again. I would really like to see him fight Dubois again. And that's a fight that Frank Warren can easily make because they're both in-house. So it won't cost a lot of money. So, I mean, if Dubois doesn't win the appeal against Usyk for the WBA, the fight that they had, then I think that's a sensible fight to make. And I think that's a fight that can go either way, because obviously Joe is low in confidence right now, whereas I think Dubois is high in confidence, or higher in confidence. So yeah, it's a crossroads fight. It'll be interesting to see, and it's a possible way back for Joyce. Yeah. I think that's a very good fight that can be made very easily. So yeah, it was a shame to see what happened, because I like Joe. Obviously, like I said, Damien is a very, very good friend. Has known Joe Joyce for years. They did martial arts together. Apparently, Joe Joyce taught Damien how to swim. So they're very good friends, and I've heard nothing but good about Joe. So, you know, I've never spoken to him, but I like him. You know, I like his demeanor. Yeah, and I wish the best for him, and I really hope that he can, you know, he can disrupt the naysayers and come back again, come back stronger. But yeah, commiserations to Joe Joyce, and congratulations to Zhilei Zhang, who know that go on to be in a lot of good fights. And I'm looking forward to see how both their careers go now. So, guys, what did you think about the fight? Did you watch it? Do you agree with my assessment? Do you have anything else to say about it? Where do you think they both go from here? Leave your comments down below and let me know what you think, please. Yeah.